Happy National Championship Eve from.
Cheers. Let's clink. We didn't clink.
I know. We don't have a can.
We have to clink a little harder.
Well, you were just holding it out there.
I'm all up in your shadow space. Please hold it.
Okay.
I'm like blocking your face.
Welcome to the Westin Peachtree, the Media Hotel in downtown Atlanta. We are 25 hours away from the national championship game, Ohio State and Notre Dame. These are road breaks. They are brought to you by Card Collector 2, the world's finest card shop in Grove City, Ohio. Card Collector 2 himself will be touching down here shortly in Atlanta, getting ready. Huge Ohio supporter, Ohio State fan. He is very nervous for the Buckeyes getting ready for the Irish. That's Bill Landis and Jeremy Birmingham. I am Austin Ward. Berm, are you nervous?
Yeah, still Sunday.
That's the first question.
Is Berm nervous?
It's from Adam. Yeah. Looking for another
Adam
Berm.
King?
No, different Adam.
Oh.
Looking for another Berm vibe check
guy?
this week. Not that guy over there. Adam says Berm helped him calm down for the Texas game. How are we feeling about tomorrow?
I feel like I'm not allowing myself to get worked up until Monday. That's the biggest thing. There's nothing to fear because the game
itself.
The game day isn't even here yet. So I think that not much has really changed for me. You'll see score predictions and final vibes, I guess, on tomorrow's bold predictions show on the podcast daily. But
how did you know that?
Well, because we recorded it earlier.
That's a bold prediction about what's going to be on bold predictions.
I don't know, man. I mean, there's certainly a path for Notre Dame to win this game. It is not a wide one. It is not something that I think people should be looking at and worried about if you're an Ohio State fan, because it would require the Buckeyes coaching staff learning zero lessons from November 30th. And I firmly believe they have learned lessons from November 30th. And everyone's pretty healthy. They're ready to rock and roll. And why allow yourself to be spending your last night before the national championship game being nervous? Be nervous tomorrow.
That's great. It's a great point. We've got the brand new 2024 Panini Prizm Draft Picks. So another college product, really fun. Some Ohio State autos and cool inserts to chase in here, including Julian Sayin cards. But to speak about the nerves, I had a great time at the Fan Zone, the Georgia World Congress Center today. Took Allie and Liberty over there, bought some new CFP gear, including this hat that I'm wearing tonight, and saw, 7, 8, 9, 15 of you that support the podcast and wanted to take a picture. I don't know why, but
it was cool.
It was very cool that happened. And after Berm bought his stuff and went back to the hotel, I spoke to a lot of you, and every question after we took a photo and talked about the game, and I asked for their predictions, they'd say, "Hey, where's Berm?" Which put me right back in my place. A little bit of humbleness.
You're the emotional Sherpa for the Ohio State.
And then they said, "Is Berm nervous?"
Yeah.
I walked over to the Fan Zone with you and the wife and daughter, and when I got there, I made a beeline straight for the pro shop to buy some gear. I bought 2 shirts, one for myself and one for my wife, and I spent $285.
The three of us just barely snuck out of that shop under $500. It was an expensive trip.
Unbelievable how much they're marking things up, but I guess they know they can get it done.
Allie actually looked at it and was like, "Oh, this Lululemon shirt or the quarter zip from Rome that I got." She was like, "Well, that's actually not marked up that much."
Well, I'm going to tell you, the quarter or the crew neck sweatshirt that I bought, I've seen online for $120, and I paid $155 for it. So it's definitely marked up. I don't know why.
If you are down for the game in Atlanta and looking for something to do on Monday, the Fan Zone is very cool. Yep. They did a nice job with it. There's a ton of things that you can do that you don't have to pay for. They also have a Blackberry Dr. Pepper Zero, which
do you have those up in your room?
Off the charts.
Do you have those up in your room?
Those are gone, bud.
Unbelievable. Adam King, who is obviously someone
he's over there.
We deal with a lot.
He won't pop in
on
here.
The notebook and stuff. Adam raced an 11-year-old in the 40-yard dash on Saturday, and got his doors blown off. So, despite the fact that he's obviously very and looks like he's in great shape, he's slow.
He's got great hair, though.
He's pretending to be on the phone right now, so he's not popping in.
He pretends to be on the phone more than Ryan Davis.
When Adam King is not on TV, he's pretending to be on the phone. Y'all want another question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Will you rip some packs open? This is from Brett. There's been talk in theory all year of playing slower for Ohio State, sitting guys to cut down on the number of plays leading into the bigger playoff games. How has that panned out? Have OSU starters played significantly less than Texas's players had or Notre Dame's? I can tell you total plays. Texas has played more plays than anyone in college football, 1,127. Notre Dame is 15th in total plays, 955. Ohio State is 23rd at 927. So unless Ohio State plays 100 plays in this game, they will not play more than Texas has played this year. And it's mathematically impossible, I suppose, for them to end up playing more than Notre Dame.
Yeah,
unless the game gets really wonky. So, I think it has worked.
In a lot of those games as well, thinking about when they did not dominate time of possession in some games where the defense would give up a few longer drives, like it got out of whack. Like Ohio State would have games with like 3 possessions. Oh, no, Panini points. 3 or 4 possessions in the first half. Yeah. Like, this is weird. They're choosing to play at this pace, and it's costing them opportunities to score. Now, it was all with this end goal in mind of getting to the national championship game, getting to Atlanta. And I would have to say, from that perspective, it worked. And it was something that I've talked about with Berm this weekend, watching Notre Dame get off the bus. I don't know. I don't see them every week. It looks like a team that has played 15 games and a lot of snaps. They're moving slowly. They were limping. Maybe people are tired of hearing me talk about one media opportunity with Notre Dame, but if that was the goal, and Ryan Day was asked about it again earlier today, like, mission accomplished on that front.
I think it worked out. Notre Dame is more banged up this year than Ohio State is. Ohio State has its offensive line issues, but I think all things considered is fairly healthy. I think they look fresh when they play. And it was interesting that they said they started sort of from the back and like what it could look like and worked their way forward to try to determine what their plan should be. And I do think it worked out. Well, we'll see what they look like tomorrow night, but I expect to see a fast and fresh Ohio State team that has played a few plays. We got there Quinshon Judkins on it.
You'd think this would be a good sign for Ohio State that we're on road breaks. With first pack that I open has a Quinshon Judkins silver Prizm auto in it, but it's still an Ole Miss card. I don't understand that. When did they make this? This is a new product.
Weird product.
They didn't even like Photoshop or put Ohio State. It just says Rebels on it. Anyway,
not great.
Quinshon's cool.
I had 2 numbered cards and a Ben Bryant autograph in my first pack.
My first pack contained Panini points instead of an autograph, which unfortunately happens. Got an Ollie Gordon rated prospect card. I got a Johnny Manziel insert numbered to 99 that looks kind of sweet. I got a Cam Ward rated prospect numbered to 249 that should do pretty well, and a silver Eli Manning card.
I got a silver CJ Stroud, which
nice.
Is a beauty, but not a first or anything.
Yeah.
This pack also had 2 numbered Prizms. One, John Elway, blue cracked ice to 99.
Your guy.
Why he's still in any product, I don't know. And John Elway, don't care for him in any way, shape, or form. And Travis Kelce, who had a big game on Saturday. He and the officials were dominant for the Kansas City Chiefs.
They sure were.
In that game. So that was pack number 1. Question.
You guys have touched on this, I believe, a little bit on the daily. And
Did you just get now. Is that a manga?
He's got a manga of Michael Penix.
Oh, well, congrats on the money.
Berm might have won.
This is a wrap already.
Case hit insert of Michael Penix. Nice. Here's a question from Michael. This question is mainly for Berm, but we'd love an answer from all of you. How does Notre Dame look coming off the bus? Berm talked about how in 2015 Oregon just didn't look up the same physically compared to Ohio State. Do we have any similar thoughts and opinions on the Irish?
I would recommend going to this morning podcast daily and watching it. We did talk about that pretty extensively. Notre Dame looked smaller than Ohio State, but that's sort of expected. They are not a team that, and I talked to Brooks Austin from Sports Illustrated, who's down here covering the event. He's a Georgia guy who covers Georgia daily, but said that when Notre Dame walked into the media day against Georgia 2 weeks ago, he felt the same way. Like, hey, that team does not belong on this same field with Georgia, but Notre Dame won that game. Some of that might be just because Georgia had a backup quarterback playing the first time and had no offense to speak of, and
struggled most of the year.
They were not good most of the year, as you said. They also turned the ball over with 20 seconds to go in the half and then allowed a kick return for a touchdown to open the second half, so it sort of just snowballed on them. But when you look at Notre Dame compared to Ohio State, they certainly do not appear to be a team that has the same physicality. That doesn't always equate to athleticism, but we know that this Notre Dame team is built to be a push you to the limit because they don't quit. They just are relentless. They keep going after you. But Ohio State is a objectively better football team talent-wise than Notre Dame. There's not really anybody who's going to argue that. So we've talked all week in the last 10 days, like for Ohio State to lose this game on Monday means Ohio State has to do dumb things to hurt itself.
You talked to some Irish players.
Yeah, I would say the first auto was Austin Jones from USC. That's about all the thing that was noteworthy from that pack. I think Notre Dame was undersized on the defensive line. I don't know if they're undersized really anywhere else compared to Ohio State. Right tackle Emil Wagner's a little light. He's like 295, I think, for a right tackle.
Golden Raiola trophy hunting rated.
I don't know. I remember the Sugar Bowl in 2014 where I thought Ohio State looked undersized compared to Alabama, and that didn't matter. And it didn't matter that Notre Dame looked undersized compared to Georgia. So
yeah, that's why.
Is Ohio State bigger? Probably. How much does it matter? I don't know. I think Ohio State still needs to go out there and play a good game, and I think Notre Dame has been quite resilient all year.
That's what I always go back to is that Alabama Sugar Bowl, because when they walked in to Media Day at the Superdome in 2014, like that was a moment where you're like, holy crap, that team is different looking than Ohio State.
Yeah.
But then when, as you said, when Oregon walked in 2 weeks later, I was like, they're going to get blown out.
Is that Carson Beck?
Blue numbered auto of Carson Beck, unlicensed. So Georgia doesn't participate in that. So it's photoshopped, and he doesn't play for Georgia anymore anyway. So a weird one to pull.
Your first two autos are,
they're players you're looking for, but they're very weird cards.
My second auto is Austin Reed, former Western Kentucky quarterback.
Okay.
Oh, I got a silver Jalen Milroe, and then my auto is Dylan Gabriel.
Oh, in the Oklahoma
in an Oklahoma uniform.
Panini, what are we doing?
Oklahoma uniform. I got back-to-back of the same non-numbered insert of different players, but the same insert nonetheless. A numbered Nick Chubb card to 199.
That
Tony Pollard, red wave, and a couple of base rookies.
Look at this. I've opened 2 packs. The same thing. It's the same box. First 2 packs, and the inserts are the same. The same Tim Tebow trophy hunting. Yeah. Panini, please.
It's a weird product.
Can you pay attention to what you're doing?
Weird vibes.
Third auto is Jacob Cowing from Arizona.
Gold?
It is a gold.
Just going to put a gold auto on the table.
I don't know who Jacob Cowing is. Never heard of him.
He's a receiver. He's good.
I did get a Brock Bowers.
He's in the NFL now.
A Drake May hype. Kool-Aid McKinstry.
Firm over here just putting a gold auto on the table like it's nothing.
199. And a DJ Lagway rated prospect base card. Unlicensed.
Sure is.
This question's from Ryan, and Austin and I think, answered this a couple, maybe last week on the Daily, or maybe even like a week and a half ago on the Daily, but I don't think Berm ever chimed in on it. How much do you think it benefits next year's roster by being able to come in and be around this team during this run? And do you also think it helps light the fire easier on the sideline during a potential championship and a drive to get their own, I guess, next year?
I think it matters a lot. It's extremely beneficial for the young guys, the incoming transfers, the 2025 signees that have already been on campus. They're getting to see up close and personal what a championship run is going to take. I don't think you can discount how important that is. Mm-hmm. We talked about it on, again, Sunday morning's Daily, but and a little bit on Monday morning's bold predictions. The fact that Ethan Onyanwa and Phillip Daniels are Ohio State's scout team offensive tackles right now is, I think, really important.
We did have a texter that was mad about that, by the way. I apologize. I don't have your name, but they did send in a text that thought we were being a little too brazen and perhaps suggesting that Ohio State's scout team tackles were better than Notre Dame's.
Sorry.
Starting tackles.
I think that's accurate.
I see the merit in what he's saying, and it's a little out there to say that.
But they're also in a situation where they're starting a tackle for the very first time. So
they are.
And
both of them a highly rated recruit.
And Emil Wagner is their other tackle, is a good player, but
both of those guys on Ohio State scouts, I understand that maybe that's taking it too far. I don't know that I said that was definitely going to be the case, but both of those players have starting experience where Notre Dame is going to put somebody out there for the very first time against Jack Sawyer and JT Tuimoloau. That doesn't seem like a great idea. We have a Joe Milton Prizm Break Pulsar color match orange to 49.
Do you think that he has the map of Neyland Stadium tattooed on his back?
Maybe.
I suspect he doesn't.
Did you guys ever watch Prizm Break?
Yeah, we did get great joke, Bert. Kate Stover numbered to 249. So we did see a numbered Ohio State player, which is what we need for the vibes.
It's pretty funny to me.
Clayton says, "Hey, Bill, go Birds." I agree.
Go Birds.
From Doug, which OSU player's name is most fun to say, and which Notre Dame's player's name is most fun to say?
I mean, once you learn how to say Kingston
Viamawasa, yeah,
that's a fun one to say.
Yeah.
Great kid, and so I'm
From
sure
Notre Dame, by the
we'll
way.
hear Kingston's name quite a bit over the next couple of years. I don't know. Is there anybody's name on Ohio State that's fun to say?
Yes, because I like to continually. I like to mock.
Oh, look, I got a Jacob Cowing auto too. This one's a 25.
They're wild.
We
The
need to go
collation. Okay, 2013 Cotton Bowl. We are at the offensive media day. Brian Hartline is in there talking, representing.
You said 2013 Cotton Bowl?
Last year's Cotton Bowl.
Last year's Cotton Bowl.
That was 2023.
2023.
I said 2013?
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
We don't have to go that far back.
Phew. What are numbers? I don't know math. Anyway, 2023.
Yeah.
How about, let's go with that. I have had more beers than you guys. Let's be honest about that.
Fair.
Brian Hartline is asked, he said, well, here are the players that are going to be talking for the Ohio State offense today. And the moderator goes, Miki Ibuki. And Brian Hartline looks at him and then starts his first question. He says, well, first of all, it's great to have Emeka Egbuka here with us for Ohio State today. And so ever since then, whenever Emeka makes a big play, or I just feel excited about anything in life because Emeka is just such a fine person, I just say, Miki Ibuki.
It's true.
And I do find that to be very fun to say. But that is not his name because it's Emeka.
It's Emeka Egbuka.
And he is one of the finest gentlemen that I've ever had the pleasure of covering.
Yeah, I agree. That was my choice too, Emeka Ibuki. You guys can answer this better than I because I was not at the Fan Fest, but you were mingling amongst the people.
Yeah.
From Zachary, what's the vibe of the fans? Does it seem like a 50-50 split? Or does it seem to be one favoring one team or the other, as far as fans you've seen out and about?
I thought there were a lot more Notre Dame fans walking around Atlanta on Sunday morning than there were Buckeye fans. Am I wrong?
I thought it was 50-50.
Purple.
Look at this. Purple
Michael
color
Penix.
match. Michael Penix.
Wow.
Out of
Michael Penix.
The Michael Penix box.
out of 149. That's a beauty.
And then especially, so with Allie and Liberty, we stayed at the fan zone for like maybe 2 hours. A huge number of scarlet and gray clad fans down there. And I had a lot of great conversations with some of the folks waiting in line to ride the football and do the Chick-fil-A skills challenge. A lot of Ohio State fans. So, and Notre Dame is well represented as well. Their team hotel is like 0.2 of a mile from here, or their fan hotel. So I think maybe that skewed it. As soon as we walked out the door, we saw a guy head to toe dressed like a leprechaun.
Very green.
But I mean, these are two of the biggest fan bases in the country, two of the best programs in the country. It's not a surprise that they both traveled really well to downtown Atlanta.
Yeah. I thought at Media Day both fan bases were well represented.
Yeah.
Maybe the Ohio State fans were a little louder, but I think it'll probably be about 50-50. I'd be surprised if there was any like dominant
I
fan
would
base.
expect that. I mean, so much of the college football, like the national championship game, is sold out to corporate interests and that sort of stuff. So there's only going to be probably 50%, 60% of the stadium that's actually full of fans of these teams anyway. So I think they'll be loud. Who's the final auto for you?
Base Jawar Jordan. I don't think that's going to do it.
I got a Will Shipley
Birds.
out of 149, unlicensed Clemson uniform.
DJ Lagway trophy hunting. Ty Law
I got a Ty Law earlier.
to 149. Zach Thomas unknown. Oh boy, that was. I think Panini got a little lazy with this product. I'm just going to say.
They tend to with this one. One more question?
Yeah,
One more question?
definitely.
We haven't even finished our beers.
This is from Shelby. Are we more likely to see a game plan that's let it rip Ryan or a tight Ryan? I'm so freaked that he's going to keep the lid on the offense. Tell me why tight Ryan Day will not appear. Thanks. I think they're going to have well-intentioned plans to let it rip. Notre Dame's defense is also good, so we'll see how that battle goes. But I don't think Ohio State's going to come into this game timid. I don't think Ohio State's going to let Notre Dame like dictate the terms in this game, like we've seen happen in some other games where teams play similarly to Notre Dame. So Yeah, whatever let it rip looks like in your mind, I'm not entirely sure, but I am not anticipating a conservative approach from Ohio State in this game.
I think Berm has made this point already in this show. Like if they came out with that approach, then that means that they didn't learn anything from November 30th. And I think quite clearly the way that they have approached this postseason means that they did, that they looked in the mirror, they took ownership, they've been accountable for all that, all of the above, all the cliches. I think apply right here. I think you look at the two previous matchups with Notre Dame, there were probably more instances of too much deference to the opponent Ryan Day as opposed to Peach Bowl Ryan Day or 2024 playoff Ryan Day that we've seen, the let it rip version. And that's why in my games got a little bit closer. Maybe that doesn't apply as much to the game in South Bend, which I think Notre Dame played pretty well, but there were, and Marvin was maybe not quite at full strength, and they're well coached and executed
he
well.
For a moment, like his leg had fallen off.
Yeah, and it was on the road and all those other things. But I think in the first matchup, or the 2022 matchup of that home and home, they played really too conservatively, and then they got into a tight game and like, oh, well, watch this, and then started hitting some stuff down the seam, and Xavier Johnson hits the big play. It was like pressed up against the wall. They did the things that they had to do to win the game. It feels to me like you learn from matchups in November 30th, and you see what has worked for them in recent games, and you have you're here now. It's the national championship. You cannot hold anything back. There's no saving it.
Last game of the year.
That's last game of the year. You can't hold anything back now.
We've talked about the story about the last time Ohio State was in this city for a game 2 years ago, Ohio State, Georgia, in the Peach Bowl. And
we'll remind people
how Ohio State's walking into the stadium. Bill was not there because he was having a baby.
He wasn't.
Well,
I was along for the ride, man.
He was encouraging his wife to have a baby.
Yeah.
Would have been major news if you were having it.
We were sitting there watching the team walk in. I was taking photos and snapping pics of all the players, and Ryan Day walks in and goes, "Berm, are you scared? You look scared, Berm." And I was like, "I'm not scared at all, because this game, whatever, it was a freebie." And that guy is who has shown up in the last month. So whatever the impetus was for that, I don't know. I keep going back, and I if I had to say one reason why I really want Ohio State to win on Monday night, it's so that we can get a full accounting of that team meeting with Ryan Day.
Yeah.
Because something has changed in the way the players are responding to him, the way he is responding to the players. Something changed that day, and I would like to know what it is, because I think that there was more to it than just the guys were upset and Ryan Day took ownership of what went wrong against Michigan. I don't know. I would love to have like a oral history of that meeting from people.
Oh,
I think you'll get it if they win.
Because
there might be a lot of them.
It's been so different since then. And again, if they don't learn from November 30th, and which clearly we think they have, if they don't continue that, then the program is in a different position than we all assume it is.
I agree. This is not a question, but I thought we could end on this, if that's okay with y'all.
Okay.
It's from Angie. Just wanted to share how excited I am for this game. My husband and I are doing a 24-hour whirlwind trip from Boone, North Carolina, so we can be home to take our kids to school on Tuesday.
Oh, wow.
I've always been a devoted fan.
Parenting.
She said, I've always been a devoted fan. Your content always keeps me in the loop in a deeper way. Thanks for helping make this incredible season mean even more. Go Bucks.
Thank you. I will speak for both Bill and Berm I'll speak for myself on this part. Walking around the fan zone and hearing so many of you who said, I start every single day with the podcast daily. I listen to it on a drive. It keeps me engaged. Get a comment like that. It's awesome. I mean, that's what we want to do this for. If there weren't Ohio State fans, and if there weren't people subscribing to the podcast or using subtext or talking to Bill and Doug, we wouldn't be down here at all. Like, we would be at home and we wouldn't have a job, or we'd be doing something different, digging ditches instead of complaining about media backpacks.
Which we did not get. for those wondering, they gave us a crew neck sweatshirt this time around. There was no third backpack. So the whole sell my 3 backpacks thing is now off.
Blown up. You spoke it into existence because I know you didn't really want another backpack. But anyway, we're incredibly grateful, appreciative for all the people who watch, whether that's this or the podcast daily or Born Blitz, Kings of Columbus, whatever, any of our content, Snap Judgments, the Notebook. Those of you who said that you think that the Notebook is the coolest thing that we do, that means a lot to me. I did steal it from somebody else, but
some dude on Netflix who will never know.
Imitation is the highest form.
But I have a lot of fun doing that, and the reason that I want to is so Ohio State fans can see and experience some of the things that we get to, and don't have to just take our word for what has been a very special run through this postseason, that you can maybe see it on their faces in real time. So incredibly humbled by all of that and the number of folks who wanted to take pictures with us. I don't understand why, but it's very cool.
Yeah, we are blessed, and I mentioned it pretty exclusively or extensively at the start of the Bold Prediction Show on Monday morning, but as a little teaser, like, if you're at home watching this game, or you're on the way to Atlanta, or you're already here, you need to celebrate the hell out of this team, because what you're going to see on Monday night, win or lose, is a bunch of guys that gave everything they have to the Ohio State program, and that opportunity to bring this team back and have a shot to win national championship on Monday night, it's awesome, and I hope people appreciate the opportunity that just to watch it, because it's awesome. It's truly an awesome experience.
Yeah, I'll just echo what you guys said, and thank y'all. Really appreciate it.
I thought Adam the King would come in here and give a score prediction. He won't. Look at that.
Come on over, Adam.
Come on, Adam.
I didn't want to impede.
So slide right in here.
Come here.
I didn't want to ruin the video.
You haven't been on the Notebook in weeks. The people are wondering if you're okay.
I'm alive. Here I am.
What's going to happen tomorrow night?
I think Ohio State is the better team. I think it may look very similar to the Ohio State-Oregon game in 2014, 2015. I just think they're just the better team. Sometimes it's as simple as that. I think Texas was better than Notre Dame. I think Oregon was better than Notre Dame. They found a way to beat them. I think they're going to show up 60 minutes. And they keep talking about this story, and it's true. It's a hell of a story.
Finish the story.
Finish the story. They're 4 quarters away from it. I think you could see like a 42-20, 21 game.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
I know that's a lot, but
Okay.
just got to stop Riley Leonard's legs.
Got to stop his legs?
Yeah.
Are you suggesting that they put a hit out on him or what?
Just got to stop Riley Leonard's legs.
Okay.
All right.
Hey, I will say this.
Did you want a Lamar Jackson trophy hunting card?
Yes, thank you very much. I will say this. I'm excited for tomorrow's game.
Speak louder. You don't have a microphone on.
I think that fans should be very excited to watch this game and appreciate the moment that is coming. It's a national championship game against Notre Dame. It's going to be an enjoyable game.
You know what I think, and it's Ohio State was in the national championship game 4 years ago, and no one cared.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, it was a weird year.
It was a
Bizarre.
really bizarre moment. This is not that moment, and this is a real deal, super memory to make.
We're so
with
professional.
your families, if you're here with your friends, like just dive in, because you just don't know in college sports these days.
I will say this, and I'll end on this. 10 years ago, I remember where I was when somebody said this to me. I was watching Ohio State celebrate. They brought all those guys back in 2015, and I remember, your immediate thought is they're going to win it all next year. Somebody said, remember where you are and enjoy this moment, because you never know the next time you're going to get it. It's been a decade.
That's wise words from Adam the King. He's got a lot of coverage on 10 TV Plus. I might pop on that tomorrow to return the favor. I think he said around 3 o'clock, but I don't know when I'm going to get there. We'll see. Tomorrow is the day. Pumped for it. The national championship game, as Adam said, these opportunities don't come along very often. The last time that Berm and I and Bill covered a national championship game was super weird and very forgettable. And it's been a decade since there was an opportunity quite like this, with the fan base able to really fully be there. Two of the best brand names, two of the powerhouses of college football, teeing it up at Mercedes-Benz Stadium with a big trophy on the line. It's a game unlike any other. There's never been a 12-team playoff, and whoever wins that trophy is going to have to have earned it. I think it's going to be Ohio State, but we'll find out in now 24 hours and 30 minutes. But these have been road breaks. Okay, we're going to wrap them up. We have the podcast daily in the morning. We're going to have the pregame keys. We got all the rest of that content as normal to get ready for Ohio State and Notre Dame. Check out Card Collector 2 in Grove City. Lots of college cards, and we didn't get the best ones, so they're still waiting on the shelves for you to go down there.
I got the best one you wanted out of that case.
Well, but there might still be a Julian Sayin manga just waiting on the shelf down there.
Maybe, yeah. But today, I got the best one.
Well, yeah, you finally won. That's not the way you actually picked first. I saw you knew where it was. That's very disappointing to me because it's way more fun when Bill and I get the better cards and you get the worst because
that's normal.
That's the way it should
That's how
work.
I stay positive, burn.
But now we have a positive berm getting ready for Monday, so I guess that's a trade-off we're willing to make. For Bill Landis and Jeremy Birmingham, I am Austin Ward. Thanks for joining us for some road breaks on a Sunday night national championship eve. We'll talk to you tomorrow.